All right, so now that we've got the editing out of the way, the next thing that Cypress is yelling at us about is deleting our task. So if we take a look at this test here, it creates a new account. We then click on the first task, and then it comes to here, and it's looking for a delete button at this point in time. So we're going to want that to be a button right next to the edit button here. The next thing, of course, is having it do the actual delete. So let's take a look in the API test file that we have. This is under integration tests, backend tests, api.test.js. One of the tests is soft delete a task. We have set the backend to do soft delete. So if in the future we do another course for backends like, for example, Axum or um, Axios Web or Rocket or any of those backend technologies, if we do that, we will be including soft deleting. We can see here that the command we send is a delete request to our base URL / tasks, the ID, and that's it. And that should delete the task as long as we have the right token to do so. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. Let's come back to our front end here. So as we see with our task, I want the ability to see. We just need that delete task right up there. Let's go find this. This is the wrong VS Code. Here we go. So this is not going to be under edit task. This is going to be under our task edit buttons. So we have two of these. So now we have this BB link. Let's create another one. BB link. Well, is this going to be another one, or are we just going to do a button here? I think this might be a button. Let's bring that in. So use create components atoms BB button. BB button. Is there anything else we want to bring in here too? Like button types? Oh no, there's no button types. That was link type. This is fine. So BB button. I need to remember what is inside of there. Just data test and label. That's all it is. So we need a data test equals, I guess in this case, it's delete, and a label, which is delete. That is not a, that's a fairly, that is a big button, especially compared to that link. I might like, I kind of want it to look exactly like this one here. So we might want to do a little bit of a changing for this. The other side is okay. So we have you set, I believe these buttons are set to like 100%, right? Yeah, with 100%. So if I change that down, okay, that's good. Uh, so we want you to be like more flat, maybe. What if we also, the background color is probably fine. We also make you not be like not have like this button display. How do we do that? I think that would be a, see, it's going to be the not the display type. Um, in for links, what do we do for that? We there's a text decoration, but I don't think that's going to be exactly it. We do a background color. Maybe we want to have like a no border. So what if I do border none? Oh, that does it. Okay, so if I do a border none, and then I do a border radius of like 5 pixels, that makes that, okay. Now we have font size of 36 here, and here we have a font size of 32. Let's drop you down to 32 pixels. Okay, getting closer. You have a 10 pixel margin, but it's a 0 on that side. I wonder, do you have a margin? Oh, yeah, you do have a margin of 10 pixels. Yeah, I want you to have no margin whatsoever. Um, that's interesting how it's like so. It's like there's a tiny bit of difference. Let's see if we can figure out what that is. In our layout, oh, there's a padding on the buttons. Okay, so for the button, if we set the padding to none, okay, even closer. That's okay, that's looking right. If I set a okay, margin, what if we set like a margin to 0? Okay, so that wasn't out and doing anything anymore. So now we have you. You have a you have a padding of 3. You have a padding of 3. Okay, so what if we set your padding to 3 also? That's not bad. Now, why are you centered and the other one isn't centered? Is it because there's like a line height? That's sort of like because it's a link. There's a line height behind the scenes, and we need to set that a little bit. Let's try that. Like if I set line height to 32 pixels, still not exactly even and centered in here, but it's like bringing us a lot closer to where we want to be. So for you, okay, texture, so we have font size 32, we have the background color, we have this padding, there's the border radius, there's that margin. Vertical align is baseline. Okay, so hold on. Vertical align baseline? Doesn't seem to do anything for us. That one. Vertical line sub for the button. Okay. Vertical line. Wait. Is that below it now? Oh, it's tiny bit below it now. And I see like there's that little tiny bit of blue surrounding the button. So I have, it's like absolutely really close. Uh, it's the closest from everything else, but that's probably not exactly what we want. Now, if we take this thing and we give, okay, so let's fix this button up first. We might also have to fix up our login buttons too, because that's going to be a thing. So I'm going to come back into BB button. So I'm gonna take the width of 100% off. Font size, we're gonna drop you down to 32. Margin, I'm not gonna put the margin of 10 pixels in here. You should not be aware of any margins. I think the things around it should be aware of that. Background color, okay, so we have you, and then other things. Okay, so we need a padding of 3. We want a border radius. I think the other one was 3 pixels, not the 5 that I sort of was experimenting with here, but yeah, this is definitely bigger than this one. Okay, so let's start with this. All right. We need a border none to start with to take away that button border. And okay, now we're here at this level. So see what we can do here. So we have oh, there's a margin, isn't there? There isn't a margin. Okay. So you are 32. We have the padding. That might do it too. Like the paddings, so the paddings on the buttons and the paddings on the links look like I need different levels, which I suppose is fine. And then I kind of wanted you to be next to this. Why are you not next to that? So here's the span data test edit. Oh, the BB link has a span in it, doesn't it? That's what it is. So this has to be next to it. Okay. That's good to know. Now oh, look at this. Okay, this is not the right size compared to uh the A tag here for edit. So you're 40.75. We need to bring you up a little bit. So height. Now we could just do, I don't think auto usually doesn't work. If I do 40.75, how about like 45 pixels? Now you're definitely above that height wise. Back to the button. How do we get you? So we have the vertical align again that we can play with. That is extremely close. I think though, this div, okay, this span also might be a problem. This div here, we might be able to do a display, not whatever that is. Don't change that. I want to do a display flex. I want to do a I think I can do a vertical. It's not vertical line. It's like a line content. Doesn't like that. How about we can do justify content for like left and right. It doesn't like that. There is justify items. It's not like in any of these things. So the button, to span. Let's see. We don't have like a display overriding that, right? We're there, and then you. Line height wise, what are you looking at? So we're looking at the A tag here, but not necessarily the span. So I wonder if we have to set the span to be at the same height as the A tag. So if we have like a width, well, the width would be auto. So the height would be, what are you? That's 41.46. Let's do like 45 pixels. Now, that doesn't change anything yet. Do I need to set your height too? Okay, I can set some height type things here. Fit content might actually be good too. Might make that look a little bit more right, as it were. We could wrap the button around a span. That could work too. We could make it a link, but I don't like to do that because it's technically not a link. I want it to be a button. It's doing something like special. Let's see, what was there? What else was there? There was justify content. I can't really do like space around. Oh wait, do you have a width here that we need to set? So like we have width of like maybe 150 pixels. Okay, now this is going left and right. So does this mean we also need to set a height here? So height of 45 pixels. Now if I do an align content, it's not really helping out here. Okay, so I was hoping that would do that. How about the other align? Align items. That's a lot closer. Okay, we're getting, okay, so if I do, I want center. So I want them to be in the center. Justify content. I want you to be in the center. And then I need to make sure that these heights are all sort of like what we expect them to be. So you have height at 45. I think this may need, there we go. I removed the height here. All right, now we're playing. So this div here, which is going to be the nav bar, you need to, okay, let's go back and find that. So update button. We need a border. What do you have? We have the border none. We don't need to do any of this type of stuff. Okay. Now a tag. We don't need to do anything with you. This span. We don't need to do anything with you, I don't think. It's going to be this div outside, which is, I believe, in the nav bar. Oh, wait, no. That was in the task edit buttons. Here's this div. Okay. So we have nothing in our style sheet right now. So looking at this, we're going to want to make you a display flex, line item center. Okay, so display flex, line items center, justify content center. Then we set a width and a height. So I don't know if we need to set the width, but we definitely need to set the height of like 45 pixels, maybe even just 42 pixels. Okay, so we do that. Oh, your size is slightly different. So our button is a little bit too big. We need to set our padding down to like 1 pixel, maybe even none. That looks about right. Okay, so there we go. We now have a delete button. I also want this to have a pointer. So for a button, let's do a pointer cursor. Or is it? No, it's hover. It's hover that. So it's I don't know how to do this. We may have to do a span on top of you. So our style sheet is going to go on here. This is now going to be hitting on button. And then we're going to do on button hover. I want pointer cursor, or it's the other way around. Let's find out really quickly here. Oh, it's not pointer cursor. That's an invalid property name. Is it cursor? It's cursor pointer. That's what it is. Okay. So cursor pointer now is going to give it that the same look as like the other button here. Okay, so that's good. Now, when we click this, nothing happens right now because it's just a button sitting out there floating in the middle doing nothing. So we want it to do the actual delete now, which does mean we need a we're going to need an event handler for this, like an on click. We also need an API to hit. So I guess we'll start with the event handler. Right now, our button doesn't have that. And to prevent it from breaking everything else, let's put that as a, I guess we'll do like a props. Well, I could just do on click here. So on, do prop. Oh, that's fine. So on click is going to be a callback. I don't really care because we're just passing in the fact that you were clicked. But I need you to be an option because not everyone needs to have this. Okay. Down here, we're going to create an on click. So on click is going to be equal to let props on click equals props dot on click. We'll clone you. Then we'll create a new callback from. We don't care about this event at all. And then we will, I guess we'll just call this. So props click dot emit. Oh, and you're this option too. So at this point in time, we need to check to see if you exist. And if you do, then we're going to click you. So if props on click is some, I mean, I might as well just extract it out. I need to anyways. So if let some, this is going to be the on click. So I'll just call it props on click still. Then props on click dot emit. And it's going to be nothing that we're sending in there. Okay. Then we get back to here. Okay, otherwise we don't do anything. We could log it just to make sure that it's working. So do a, I don't want console like that. I want the actual just console so I can just call like log or other stuff on it. So console. Yeah, that's right. Now I can do console log. And so delete button clicked. Go to there, that gets us, and then you get a on click equal, actually, we'll just do this style. Okay, move. Are you upset because function of everyone's because it moves a variable, press and click out of its environment? Oh, right. So we need, I was really hoping that I can get this out of here by cloning it from here and not using props inside. Well, that's too bad. Okay, so hold on. What do I need to do? So we have props on click. So props on click, we clone that out here. We're gonna move you back in. So we have props on click if let some. Because it, okay, because that moves out of the environment. How did I do this otherwise? Because I'm cloning the option, right? Because it is called on click here, right? Yeah, it is. So I move you. We could do a if let some. I mean, I could do another clone here. I don't know. I don't think that's not going to make sense. That's going to have the same problem. Or no, that's going to be fine. Okay, so I clone it here. So that's what the issue was. I was losing. I need to clone it twice. Okay, interesting. Okay, so you're working. Let's come back to here. If I click delete button clicked. Okay, so what's next? With the delete button clicked, it's time for us to now actually do the API call. So let's go into API, right, which is in mod under API, and we're gonna create a new function here. So a pub async delete task. We're gonna take in the task ID, which is a U32. We're gonna have, let's see, we need the token, which is a stir. We don't need the task at all. All I need is the task ID and the token, and that's it. We can return a result. That might be a good idea because we're doing this entire result thing just in case we're not authenticated and trying to do something like this. Although if we get to this point, we should be fine. So I'll think about it. Otherwise, like I might not need anything at all. Let's just do the result anyways. We'll be fine. So I don't need to do anything here, and we're gonna give an API error if there is a problem. The API error, if you remember, is our own error that we've created ourselves. Okay, now it's time for our request. So let request equals request. We're going to do a delete method. URL is going to be a reference. I do a format. Okay, so slash tasks slash and then the ID. So our base URL and then the task ID. We have to set these two headers on it. Actually, no, we only have to set the XAuth token on it. We're not sending JSON, so I don't need to do that at all. We don't have a body, so we're just going to now send. We'll go ahead and await. Oh, send like that. Then await. then unwrap that. And we should be good. Okay, so we now have our request. You are upset because I'm not returning the actual thing. Let's do a to-do really quickly to make you a little bit happier. Also, why are you upset? Oh, because I forgot to use the keyword function. That's why. There we go. Now I get my nice typings. Okay, so we get a response. Let's double check to make sure that we're not getting something like a 401 here. So here we're going to say if the request okay, then it's okay. We're returning okay. Now, otherwise, we need to find out what that is and then return the appropriate one. So we're going to match request status. We'll get a 401. Then it's an error. API error. Not authenticated. Otherwise, we don't know what the error is. API error unknown. Which is really just telling us to go look at the network tab and go figure out what the error is and then add it to our code. Okay, so now we have our delete task here. So we want to, on edit task buttons, when we click this, we want it to do the thing. So we need to have an on-click handler for you. We have our task ID here, so that's excellent. So we'll do a let delete on click equals create a callback from we don't really care about this. You're going to be called inside of you. So click equals delete on click. The reason I'm calling this delete on click instead of just on click here is because we do have two different things that potentially could do on click. So because we're handling different components in here and it's not just one component, that's why I'm labeling it a little bit better for myself. Okay, so delete on click. You're gonna be that. What do we want to have happened here? So as soon as we get that we clicked here, we now need to call that API. If we want to call the API, that means we're gonna need a WASM web bindings. Or what was it called? It was like a use local WASM binding futures spawn local. We have an async. I don't know if we need to move inside of here, but it's going to be an async block. And now we're going to call in that API. So we want their API, delete task, pass in the task ID, and we need the token too. Okay, so token's going to be a reference. And then we're going to get, right now we could just unwrap. I really don't think we're going to run into this problem, but if we do, I want to unwrap it so we find out about it immediately. Oh, right. Await first, then unwrap. So await, then we can unwrap here. Now it's going to yell at us that, hey, we don't have a token and we really want to have a token. So we're going to use a store. Even though nothing else is using the store here, I'm still going to use the block method. We're going to do let our token is going to be equal to. Okay, use store. We have to give it the type, which is the store type. Okay, that gives us that. Now I want the state. We map. I want state dot token. We're gonna clone you out, and then we're going to unwrap or default here. Okay, that's going to give us a string as the token. Now we're going to have to start moving in, and we're going to have to now clone the token inside of here and move it in. So let token equals token not clone. Then we're going to have to async move into here. Now we can do a reference to the token. So we're constantly moving in. Actually, don't know. Do we need to move in when I'm just using a reference inside of here? I do. Okay. Now it compiles successfully. So this should actually fully delete the task. Okay, great. Then after this is all done, I want to tell the state to update. So we need a dispatch now. And then inside of the store, we're going to have a dispatcher to remove a task because we deleted it. So pub function, let's remove task by ID. We'll take in that dispatch, which is the store dispatch. We'll take in the task ID. And that's it. That's all we need here. I don't need a move because U32s implement copy, so that should just copy in just fine. Take our store. So we want to do let. Essentially, it's the same thing here. We're going to do, now it's not going to be exactly this. This one's doing a find. I want to do a remove, which could potentially be like, okay, we're going to take tasks. Probably going to want to do a filter. Okay, so we want all of our tasks equals, how about store.tasks. We're going to intermute. This gives us, okay, the vector in there. Do I want to find the ID of it? Do I want to do like retain or filter? There's a bunch of different options here for just like finding something and removing it from a vector. So filter is one option. There's a reduce. No, so reduce is not what I want. There's a retain. Oh, retain's just directly on the vector, isn't it? There's take. Can I do it directly on a vector? So there's a remove here. So removes and returns the element at position index within the vector, shifting all elements after it to the left. That sounds exactly what I want to do. But I need to know what the index is. So I can't necessarily just do a straight remove. I need to find the index of something first. So performs index operation. There's no like find index. I can do an iter, and then like, is there a find index? No, but no index there. We can loop through it ourselves and find the index. I don't think, wait, so find here just returns the option self. It won't find, oh, wait, there's, oh, it's been so long. We can enumerate to get the index. That would work. However, just sort of thinking about it, like that might be more work. If we just do a filter, this just removes it out, right? So if it's a true, we keep it, I think. True or false, the returned iterator will yield only the elements for which the closure returns true. So if it's true, we keep it. If it's false, we do not. So that's something to be aware of here. So we're going to take a single task, and we want to keep the task if its ID is not equal to task ID. And then we're going to collect this back up together. That's going to yell at me temporarily because it doesn't know what the collect should go into for this. Now we have these tasks. So I want to put these back into the store. So store.tasks equals tasks. Collect, still not know what type it is. A type of value vec store task can not be built from iterate over elements of type reference to store task. Okay, so in this case, we need to take ownership of this and clone it. So what if we extract you out? So we do an into iter. So we take ownership of the tasks. Cannot move out of the store. I don't want to. Well, I want to move all the tasks out of the store. That's fine because I'm going to replace them again right afterwards. But that might. We could also clone you potentially. I could also do a clone here, which I think that would work as well. So let's remove the iter there. Let's just clone the task back into the store. So then you should see tasks, type annotations. Okay, tasks are going to be a vec of a reference to task. Now by cloning it, it becomes a vector of actual tasks. Oh, I was really hoping that would work. Okay, fine. We could clone the task out first. So that store task equals store.task.clone. So we'll remove you. We'll into iterator you. We'll do this from the store tasks. Into iterator, filter this, then collect, then you become a vec of task. And we don't need to clone you anymore, and we reassign you back into there. You are upset because of why? Closure may live out the. Oh, do we need to move? Yeah. Okay. So now, uh, we have our move task by ID. We're going to come back into task edit buttons, and we want to call this at the end. So after we've done our whys and binds and futures, we now need to do. We need to get to our dispatch. Equals. Okay, so we're gonna do another use store. We have to give it the store type. Dispatch, and we'll clone that. Now we're going to move the dispatch into here, and I'm just going to use it at the end of here. And I think that's going to work just fine. That being said, we might want to use it like just wait until it's really done here and that it actually happens. And so we can do like an if let okay also to make sure it really actually finished correctly. Although it's going to panic, so that would also potentially make it not work properly. We'll see, because like the unwrap. And actually, in that case, yeah, we'll be fine. So it's dispatch equals dispatch clone you. You're here now, so now we're gonna do a delete task, not API. Oh, I think it was remove. So remove task by ID, pass in a dispatch, pass it in that task ID, and that's it. Okay, so we did that one. Now, if we delete, I also want to move us back to home. So we're going to need route, which we have it right here. So we need a use history here too. So that history equals a use history. I need to tell use history what type it is. Which is that true? Oh no, I don't tell it what type it is. I think like you're in there, right? I think it's in there. It should be fine. Okay, so then use history. History is this any history. We're gonna do a push to it. Okay, so we're gonna grab you. History equals history. History.clone. Then history.push. Oh, you're an option. That's why we're having troubles with it. Wrap. Okay. History.push. We need a route, and we want to go back home. Okay. All of this seems to work. Let's head back to our code. I'm going to open up our network tab so we can watch this as it happens. Here we are here. If I click delete, we go back home. I see absolutely nothing here. We did another get. Actually, we did not do another get, but we saw that the delete method actually worked and it sent out delete to 31. Okay. We have no more tasks here, so we're gonna probably have to get to creating one soon. Let's go ahead and run our Cypress test and see if this makes the delete feature pass. Oh, I saw it get passed. Should be deletable. And so let's see. Should be deletable is green now. Next up, should be able to cancel editing without saving. Okay, we'll have to deal with that. We will also now need to create new task items, which I don't remember if we have that features. I don't think we've created that yet. That is creating a task. That is coming up. So we'll have to use, I'll create some, well, actually, let's just create some right now. I need access to our Thunder client. We have our post okay, we have post and we have a put. Those are all fine. I want to, actually, for this most recent patch for 31, I should be able to see deleted at. I want that to be null. Now, if I just send this, we're going to get not, it is not contain any values to update. Oh, I don't think our server can handle an undelete right now. So I need to post to tasks to create a new task. We need to set this to have a title of, let's just say, a new task. We'll send that. There we go. You. Back to you. Hit refresh, and there is our new task with almost nothing in it. So a brand new task. Priority is, we'll just make it B. Save it. And here we have a new task for us to cancel editing next time. So I will see you in that video then. Bye.